What's good, YouTube? It's another day, another video from me, your boy Squiddy. And today is another replay from the boy, Asian boy 00, my boy Kevin from Montreal. So this time he's playing Sky Striker. The build is a little different than mine, which is really interesting. He does play DD Crow. Looks like his opponent chose for him to go first. I've never seen this replay, by the way, so I'm doing this blind. But standard shenanigans. Actually, one thing to point out right there, since he opened Ray, one thing you can actually do with Ray is summon it, then wait until end phase to use the effect to summon Shizu, so that way you play around effect Veiler. So if your opponent had Veiler in main phase, if you made Shizu in main phase, they could Veiler it, but you can actually use the effect of Ray in the end phase. Because they can't Veiler or Ray, you just chain. The only thing is if they have Gamma, that kind of sucks, but other than that, you know, it's probably better to play around 3 Imperm, 3 Veiler. But, you know, minuscule plays, doesn't really matter. Sometimes it does, but you know, in this case it looks like it didn't. He sets 3 disruptions, pretty good actually. He has DD Crow in hand as well, engaged. It's actually not a bad opening. It looks like his opponent's playing Eldlich again. Yeah, I guess we're gonna have a lot of Eldlich videos on the channel for the next little bit. But add Sanguine off of Pot of Prosperity, only banishing 3, which is interesting. I don't know why he wouldn't banish 6, or just play X-Trap, or maybe he plays both. Sets 5. Could be a close game, but the fact that he has Afterburners, he drew for turn, and Cosmic is actually really good. If you 1-for-1 like Sky Striker engine versus Eldlich engine, if they don't have any floodgates, you should be winning like almost 100% of the time. Just because the Sky Striker deck has so many built-in cards like Afterburners, Engage, you're just amassing so much advantage that you can just keep grinding. But when they flip up Skill Drain, that's when things get a little heavy-handed and hard to deal with. So he'll activate Engage here. I saw Sanguine was triggered maybe a little early there. But I actually know that makes sense because he did have the Golden Land Forever set, so he wanted to have that lab immediately. The Engage was negated, which not sure that was necessarily correct, just because his opponent, or he only had 1 spell on Grave, and then his opponent just shotgunned that. I think it would be better to negate this when it's actually a threat, so when there are 3 spells in the grave, as opposed to just the 1 search, because like, he's got so many other cards, right? You might want to hold that to something that actually threatens Skill Drain, which is like the Eldlich player's pathway to victory. So I don't know if soloing that or Golden Land Forevering that was correct. We're going to see a Cosmic Cyclone right away. And looks like that entire Eldlich board was just destroyed in 1 turn, which is nuts. No damage done to the Sky Striker player, which is insane. Asian boy is literally dominating this game. I don't think there's any way the Eldlich can come back. He's going to Kagari back the Engage as well and play it immediately. One thing he could have done is actually held that in hand, because I see the other Engage is not actually banished here. So he could have held it in hand and then added the second Engage off of Shizu, and then that would just be like a death sentence for the Eldlich player because they don't have any ways to stop multiple Engages. But, you know, it doesn't really matter in this context because he is so far ahead. Searches the Afterburners preemptively and then searches the Hornet Drones for some backup, which is fine. His opponent's going to go and banish one of the traps to set Green Elixir to summon a golden guy from deck because the other one has been banished. And yeah, 2 cards in hand, another Pot of Prosperity. I don't know if he also plays Pot of Extravagance, I would assume so, but usually Pot of Extravagance is just better because you're drawing 2 cards as opposed to, even though you get the filter, in this deck you just want to draw traps. Like, I feel like you draw 2 cards, you have more of a chance to hit Skill Drain, etc. Plus another trap, which a lot of times you do need just to combat the meta. So he'll actually banish 6 here. We see a plethora of really good traps, but not so good right now in this moment. Emptiness, it's alright, but we already saw the Afterburners, which can actually pop your own monster and then pop a spell and trap on the field if needed. One way that the Eldlich player can play around this popping a spell is actually chaining Conquistador. When you activate Afterburners, if they chain Conquistador, they can actually pop their own Golden Lord. And then because Afterburners has to do A then B, so it has to destroy the monster, then destroy the spell trap, it actually fizzles, so you cannot destroy like a Skill Drain per se. Fun little thing that you can do if you have Conquistador. Gonna make Hayate right away and see another Skill Drain, but I don't know why he activated Sanguine there either. That was a little early, but gonna get punished there with the Maxi as well, giving this player another draw. And the fact that he activated Maxi forced the Conquistador, so he didn't draw 2 cards. which is also not very good there. I think he should have held it for the Afterburners, because if the Afterburners came down and the Conquist were chained, actually, Asian Boy didn't have an out to the skill drain, which might have actually just turned the tide of the game. But instead, we're going to see the Conquistador coming out a little early, which means that this Afterburners is live. Gonna draw a card off Maxi. Gonna make a Phoenix right here just to clear the space. Swing over the Conquistador. Clear the space in the main monster zone. And he's actually gonna pass, surprisingly. I thought it would have popped the skill drain there and maybe just play drones and did some more shenanigans. But I can see the patience play. Yeah, that's definitely an option there. Obviously, he has Shark Cannon. He had to crow so many cards ahead, so the game's just over. But, you know, why not stay and torture the opponent a little more? He's going to banish one of the Golden Lords. We're going to see a Conquist getting set. I don't know if I saw 3 Golden Lords. That's crazy. Is that 3 or 2? I think it was 2. Okay, I'm bugging. There's another game where players are playing like 3 Golden Lord, which is just nuts. Oh, there is 3. I think 2 is a little better because it is kind of a brick if you draw 2. You want to draw traps in this deck and not Eldlich the Golden Lord, but no, that's fair. The Emptiness will get flipped up here. Emptiness and Skill Drain. Pretty menacing, but again, he does know that the Afterburners is in hand. It's public information. The Vanity's Emptiness will actually prevent any Conquistadors from getting flipped here because it is a special summon. So he's basically just the sitting duck to this Afterburners that's going to come crashing down and pop both the Skill Drain, Golden Lord, and the Emptiness by its own effect. And yeah, that's going to do a lot of damage. Hornet Drones is going to come down here. Going to chain a Sanguine, which means that he probably has Conquist, but unfortunately that is the 3rd Golden Lord as public knowledge in the graveyard, so this DD Crow is actually going to cut him off from the Golden Lord, and it looks like his opponent will just scoop with nothing there. So yeah, really interesting game. I think definitely some different lines of play that could have been done on both sides, but no, it was really good. Sky Striker prevails again. If you guys liked the video, definitely subscribe and comment, and yeah, be sure to make some more.